I got asked the question, how am I making money now that I'm not working as a doctor anymore, as a physician? Well, guys, have you guys ever heard of that strategy, buy, borrow, die? Now I'm saying it's buy, borrow, live. So I worked as a physician for a long time, so I made a couple of bucks, right? And I've been buying Bitcoin since 2021. So with that Bitcoin that I've bought, what am I doing? I'm basically borrowing my Bitcoin and gaining dollars, right? So I use my Bitcoin as collateral and then I get a loan in dollars. And since I know that Bitcoin will only go up, my LTV is basically 60%, but I will always, if I have to add Bitcoin, I will add Bitcoin as margin for so my LTV doesn't keep on going up and I don't get, liquidated, the risk of being liquidated. So of course, using my money to make more money, but I also need another income, right? Because eventually my stash will run out. So now I'm figuring out that I want to, create videos and actually help people to understand that Bitcoin is the way out of this financial system that is collapsing, is imploding. So right now I'm here in the United States. I'm staying near Boston. We have a huge Brazilian community here in Boston. And, I'm just thinking of ways to make money basically with content creation, right? So they're asking, how am I making money? So I'm using my Bitcoin as collateral to gain dollars. You pay my bills, do stuff with that, and I also buy more Bitcoin. So in a sense, I'm basically leveraging up my Bitcoin, right? But of course, I need another income so I can keep on buying Bitcoin because that's my goal. I want to, have a very comfortable life in the next 5 to 10 years. So I've been working as a physician. I gained some money, but I still need a lot more money. I'm young. I'm 33 years old, so I know that I can still work, I'm trying to find other ways to make more money. And that way I keep on stacking sats and I will never stop. So we had this Bitcoin dip, right, to $98,000. But right now we have a bunch of news saying that the government will reopen probably 13th of November, this Thursday. So liquidity will flow back to the market and I'm very hopeful that Bitcoin will pump. But of course, all dips we need to buy. So I'm hoping on Moonvember because we had a horrible October in Bitcoin. But it's never horrible for us, for Bitcoin maxis, I would say, because every dip is an opportunity to buy more. But I'm hoping that it will go up because then I can borrow more off of my Bitcoin and, buy more Bitcoin with my own Bitcoin. So I really enjoy that strategy. Buy, borrow, die. And another good thing about borrowing is that you don't have to pay tax because you're not selling, right? You're not selling your asset. Bitcoin is not being sold, so I don't have to pay tax. So that's basically like a strategy that many people use against, high valued assets that only gain value over time. So I'm very excited about that. But basically, I'm trying to navigate myself in this new world. But I'm definitely not going back to becoming a physician. I actually did, in that chapter in my life. And right now I'm just, searching for the best thing, but I want to continue making videos. And I want to also update you guys on what's happening in like the macroeconomic side of things and also like on-chain data, where the money's going, Bitcoin is not that correlated to the M2 money supply anymore, or gold. We had, gold was running up so high for the last weeks, and then people rotated capital out of gold to other places. So it's very exciting times, and Bitcoin is very cheap. Although you may think that 100,000 is expensive, it's pretty cheap because it will go eventually to 1 million. Okay, so that's it. Nice talking to you guys, and please like, subscribe, hit that like button. So please comment, like, share. I want to gain more followers that speak English. I'm probably gonna leave my Brazilian public, in my other platforms. I think YouTube is gonna be in English because that way I can talk about Bitcoin to a lot more people, global.